Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. Hello and welcome to my channel, Suris, and I guess I'm live on your channel too?
Yes. You are currently live on my channel as well.
We're double timing it. Double teaming it?
Why is it saying try closing other recording software? Oh, apparently I'm actually not going to be able to record. It's mad.
That's okay.
Weird.
I am recording it on my
Fair
end,
enough.
so I can send you the file if you need it.
I would greatly appreciate that.
Wait, are you expecting like the Zoom file? Because I'm recording OBS.
Oh no, just on OBS itself.
Okay. Yeah. So hi, I've got Suris with me. It's good to have you back, Suris.
I have been here many times, and I don't know where my channel ends and yours begins. Especially considering that like the most popular video on my channel is the one where I pretended to be you.
That was a good one.
I can't escape you, Viced. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I love you, even though you turned into a weird cat VTuber thing.
Hey, I still have most of the design sensibilities from my original model here.
You know what?
Most of them.
Okay, I'm giving you shit for that, but I actually there was a point before you had gone VTuber when I learned about Adobe Character Animator and stuff, and I was like, hey, I could like pay someone to like articulate my Rhino model, and I could, you know, do the stuff in front. I didn't even know VTubing was a thing, and I'm just like, I could like act it out in front of the camera and have the Rhino do the stuff. But I don't know. You use VTube Studio or something, right? You don't use Character Animator.
I use VTube Studio. I have a friend who uses Character Animator for that though.
It's complicated as fuck.
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
Yeah, so I abandoned that proposition. People were asking me to turn your volume up. I did just turn your volume up, so say some stuff.
Some stuff.
Naram de Puts Sol, or Last Stupid Moron, if you read it backwards, says ooh.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, this is you.
I can't. Nah.
You promised me fan art last time, and you underdelivered. Like I
underdelivered?
I think like one piece of fan art came out of that, and it was like a month later. So I'm expecting your audience to make it up.
Wait, so you didn't like the one where you got feminized into a Rhino waifu?
No, that's the one I'm thinking of. I love that. That was great. I love that sort of stuff. I just posted on Twitter today, maybe? I don't know. Either today or yesterday, I post some Pumpkin J, who's been around for ages. You know Pumpkin J, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they suggested that I hadn't fully what's the word? I haven't fully taken advantage of things that I could do with my Rhino avatar. And I guess they were coloring like an adult coloring book sort of thing. And so I was like, oh, someone do an adult coloring book of the Rhino thing. I'll split the profits 50-50. There's not going to be much of them. So yeah, that I think that would be fun. And when I say adult coloring book, like when I initially said I was like,
steamy.
When I initially said it, I'm picturing like it's like the coloring book, but the spaces you're coloring are much smaller than on the kids ones. Like it's the grown-up coloring book. But then I reread it and I was like, adult could mean something else here.
I'm pretty sure adult does mean something else.
Send tweet.
Be fine. God, what is NVIDIA Shadowplay? I'm just upset now that my OBS is not recording. I understand I'll be able to do stuff afterwards, but like it's the part of my brain that sees a problem and goes, okay, there's gotta be a solution.
Yeah. And then you spend so long working on the solution that you like it would have been more worth it just to use the workarounds.
I don't think there's a workaround on this one. I think the workaround is rebooting my computer completely, but I'm not about to do that. So
yeah, I'd prefer it if you didn't.
Samuel... Yeah, it would probably be better for you.
Yeah, well, whatever. Samuel Patre says, how much do you get to drink? Well, my kids are home, so I'm not going to get smashed. I am, however, I do, however, have the order of articles planned out where the one that's going to be the hardest for me to read after some alcohol is the one we're doing first. So, so yeah, I'm not going to get smashed, but I am going to get a little tipsy probably. By the time we get to Kevin Sorbo, I'll be loosened up a little and I'll have some spicy takes.
By the time we get to Kevin Sorbo, I'm going to want to hurt myself.
Yeah, Kevin Sorbo has that effect. But we have Marjorie
really
Taylor
does.
Greene coming up too, though, so there's that.
That doesn't make it better.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying is Kevin Sorbo is nice compared to that.
The voice in your head and Samuel Partey, thank you for following over on my channel.
Yes, that's right. So if you're not aware, Suris is currently doing a subathon over on Twitch, which I don't know. That's a thing where if you send him money, he'll stream forever, and you can torture him by sending him lots of money so that he can never go to sleep again.
Basically, it ends up being every subscriber adds 5 minutes to my timer. But if they send money via PayPal instead, because I receive more of that, that counts for double time. So like $5 on PayPal turns into 10 extra minutes on the timer. This is day 3 of my subathon, and currently I'm staring down 77 more hours to go. But I know that number is going to change.
Yeah, last time, how long did you go last time? Was it a week and a half, 2 weeks?
So the last time we did Tweaks, I think was during my first subathon, and 16 days. It was 16 days long.
And I had you on toward the end of that, and I managed to extend it by like a day or something.
By something like that. It was, which thank you for, by the way, because that subathon, the goal of that was to pay down medical debt. So like extending the subathon helps. Like this time it's because appliances are breaking. We've got broken air conditioning, and we've got broken like washers and dryers and stuff. So yay.
So my washer's not broken, but the gasket on it's a front load washer, and the gasket on the door is got a slight tear in it, and it's just enough that like every time you wash it just leaks a little on the floor. So we have to have a towel in front of it, and it like I've looked into it, and I'm like, it's just a rubber gasket. I can change that, right? I watched the video on how to. I'm like, no, I'm not fucking doing that. Like, it's, it's not that hard, but it's like it would, like, it's supposed to be like a 1 hour job, and I guarantee it would take me like 3 days
because it's a 1 hour job with experience.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing, it's a 1 hour job. So but then the gasket by itself is like $100. And then there's the labor on top of that, which
I feel like at that point you could just grab a lighter and melt rubber onto the tear, and that would be more cost effective.
I did Gorilla Glue it back together because the thing didn't tear off. It was just kind of wobbling around, so I Gorilla Glued it back together, and that kind of worked. It still leaks a little, but less than it did before.
It's a drizzle now.
So speaking of appliances, I just bought a new mower. Because my gas mower it bit the dust. It like, I probably could have gotten it fixed for cheaper than buying a new mower, but I wanted to go electric. I got a Ryobi mower, and it took me 3 trips to Niagara Falls to get it. First trip was my fault. I didn't have my wallet with me, and it's like, yeah, I'm so used to buying stuff with my phone. And it's like, nah, you can't spend that much with your phone tap. So that was my bad. Second one, the Ryobi mower wouldn't work. I had it running for about 5 seconds, and then it turned off, and I checked all the things that it said to check to make sure to get the engine running, and it just didn't work. It just wouldn't turn on. And I've since learned that apparently Ryobi really, really cheaps out on their safety switches. So there was probably just the safety switch that tells it that the handlebars are in the right position was broken, and that's why it wasn't running. Third one, I got it back. It runs, but the little flap at the back that stops the mower from like shooting stuff at you while you're mowing broke off.
Oh, so you get all of the bits cutting up your ankles now, huh?
Yeah, well, no, but this is the thing. Like the metal bar that they had it on just sheared right off. I have since I put it back on, and I used Gorilla Glue to put it back on, and it hasn't come off since. So the Gorilla Glue is literally better than whatever the fuck they did in the factory.
Jesus. So here, like, Ryobi is discounting Hurt, which is the Walmart brand of appliances. Ryobi is like the cheapest.
It's Home Depot's brand.
Home Depot's brand is Rigid.
here it's Ryobi. I think well, I don't know if it's
Really?
their brand, but the only place you can get Ryobi is Home Depot.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, right. Home Depot's the only place I've been able to get Ryobi either.
But the only reason I got it though is because I already have batteries, because I have their weed whacker, the electric weed whacker, and I love that fucking thing. It just chews everything.
You're in the Ryobi ecosystem now.
So like,
you've
because I had the battery, I was like, okay, well, it's about the same price as the other mowers, so I'll just get the Ryobi one since I already have the battery. So one complaint on this mower that everybody was bringing up in the reviews was that it doesn't have very good battery life. So I'm like, okay, well, I already have like 4 batteries for this fucking thing. I got their snowblower as well, and that's another story. The snowblower is garbage. But the snowblower is garbage it's because of the way the handle's designed. So I'm like, I made sure the lawnmower didn't suffer that same problem, and like, okay, it doesn't, so everything else should be fine. And it is a good mower. The motor does really well. It chews. Like I weeded the hedge and just piled the weeds up in a big giant pile. I forgot the pile was there, ran over it with the mower, and it was like, oh, that sounded different. And then it spat it all out the side. And was like, oh, okay, it just chewed it up. That would have completely stalled my gas mower.
Yeah, no, that's so like our almost every tool we have in this house is Ryobi, because since they are like the cheapest thing you can get here.
That's interesting to me because they're really fucking expensive.
Yeah, here they are the cheapest thing. Like compared to everything else you can get, they are the cheap option. And my experience with their stuff has been, it works, and that's about as far as it goes. So like, I got a set of DeWalt drill bits and then a set of Ryobi drill bits because I have a Ryobi drill, and I have chewed through the house of like house repair projects. I've chewed through so many of the Ryobi drill bits, whereas like I've gone through 3 of the DeWalt drill bits in 2-3 years. It's kind of sad, but I don't know. They are ultimately what we have for our house, because every single time a home repair project comes up, it's like, do I spend the extra $40 on a better piece of equipment? No, I just need it to work. That's all.
Okay, we got people making fun of us for turning it into a DIY channel now, so maybe it's time we get into the into the news articles. Remember last time we streamed, I had like a whole 45-minute video that was just our tangents.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a couple long articles here, so this stream's gonna go long, I think.
Oh God, Ocean, thank you for gifting out 20 community subs. Holy shit. But also, before we go very much further, I'm going to go ahead and let my audience know. Any of the redeems I am probably not going to be doing during the course of this, mainly out of respect for Rhino, because this is going on both of our channels.
I don't know what that sentence means.
So I have vocal redeems where I'll say stuff to the chat when the OWOs and stuff like that. Those are redeems that happen on Twitch on my end. So I'm letting everybody know on my end, I'm not going to be doing those through the course of this session, because that interrupts the flow of things when there's multiple people. Whereas with me, I can kind of like weave them into things.
What fucking flow do we have?
Well, apparently a better one than your washer does.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. John Brown says another 45-minute tangent video incoming. Yeah, likely. So while you're doing that, I'm just going to read just this is my life now. So I went out last night, yes, on a date with the person I'm currently seeing. Left my daughter at home with the boys to look after them. And this is the string of text messages I got from her. Let's where are we? So I got, the boys were on Liam's Switch. So this is after they're supposed to be in bed. Like, okay, whatever. Next text message. Also, they're going around the house naked. And then next text message. Liam did put shorts on, and Gavin is in the bathroom though. So Gavin's still naked, but at least he's in the bathroom where being naked is somewhat appropriate. Next text is, guess who I just found eating coffee crisps in their bed. So I don't know if coffee crisps are. Do you guys have coffee crisp in the States?
No, we don't. As far as I know.
It's a chocolate bar that has coffee in it. So
that sounds delicious.
It's past their bedtime and they're eating coffee crisps. Anyway, we should probably get onto the tweets. My daughter's here for 10 o'clock cuddles, and I've got like probably about a half hour of tweets to go. So
we might as well go ahead and get those up then.
I'll see you in a bit, sweetie. It's okay. She can wait.
I hear you, Dad.
You know what? We've got a giant stuffed bunny that we call the Mama Bunny that they cuddle when they miss Mama. What? It smells like alcohol? Shouldn't smell that bad. I still have a little bit. I'm not pouring anymore, so it'll be fine.
Dad can stop whenever he wants, honey.
I can.
RCOT in my chat.
I actually
go on.
don't like being drunk.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it's a coping mechanism.
I always just get like just shy of being drunk. My Twidget seems to have malfunctioned, so I'm not able to like select. Like it's not updating the chat anymore. I don't know why. Twidget is the thing that I use to like show the chat messages.
Mm.
Shannon says, I love being drunk. And Strange New Worlds is the best Trek in decades. Yeah, absolutely. Strange New Worlds, I love it. Like, it feels like... I like Discovery. I like Picard. I like all the new Trek. It's been fantastic. But I don't like... This might tie into my my dislike of watching TV by myself. It's like I don't like the not serialized. Serialized is what Strange New Worlds is. Like when it's a storyline that like a story arc that goes over the whole season, I don't like that. I like that Strange New Worlds has like individual episodes. You can just watch one episode and you know what's going on in that episode. If there's anything relevant that happened before, they do it in the last time on, and it's always extremely relevant to that exact episode. Mm-hmm. I love that. And they're doing it so well. And all the characters on Strange New Worlds are amazing. I love Pike. I love Hammer. I love Ortegas. Spock, the guy who plays Spock, is good. Uhura is great. They're all fantastic. I love them. They're great.
I'm on the opposite end. I love overarching storylines, but I think my favorite compromise on that is when you've got A plot, B plot, C plot, and C plot is your overarching story that's going through the whole season, but every episode has a very definitive and B plot that are going on.
So like Strange New Worlds, how they have the plot with Dr. Mbenga's daughter sort of thing that shows up in like every third episode or so.
Recurs every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I while I like, and I think it's because I grew up with like Dragon Ball Z, so I really liked that everything organically flows together as opposed to being like chopped up thing. But I also know when I was watching Star Trek, not the original series, but Next Generation, like I also found that some of the overarching things when they would like every now and again there'd be an episode going on about Q, or every now and then there'd be an episode going on about corruption in the Federation, like having that stuff going on in the background, so there was a narrative that you could follow and things weren't just sitcom-y, basically.
So Blade Runner is saying the guy who plays the Andorian engineer, that's Hammer, is actually legally blind. So like he is actually blind.
Huh.
That's amazing. I love that.
No, that's good.
Like, because a lot of the episodes he like comes across as being able to see perfectly fine, which a lot of people that are legally blind, they can't, like their vision is correctable. So like maybe he's got contacts that allows him to see perfectly fine, but like it's pretty great. I don't know. I kind of like I like to watch Next Generation with the kids occasionally. And it's like, it's nice that you can just drop in on pretty much any random episode. And yeah, they might refer back to stuff that happened earlier, but for the most part it's self-contained. I really like that about most Star Trek. And so I've kind of missed that. Like that's kind of been the trend of TV shows. They go to these like overarching storylines, and I kind of
they go with the binge model.
Yeah, and I do kind of like that to a degree. Like for Stranger Things, really works. I love Stranger Things. It's a great show. For Star Trek, like yeah, it works for Discovery, but like I like that Strange New Worlds has gone back to you can just watch an episode and it's fine if you haven't seen the previous episodes for the most part.
Well, not to mention like the environment. So like the environment of Stranger Things lends itself better to that to me. Better to the overarching, because there's a lot of shoot location on location. Whereas in Star Trek, there's a lot of we're on a different planet today, and it is way easier to conceptualize as a viewer that we have a reason for being on X planet when an episode can begin with, hey, higher ups just said we need to go here to solve X problem, or hey, we just got a distress message from this. It's way easier to do that with self-contained stories.
Or hey, here's two new characters that we've never met before. Clearly, they're the ones that are going to die.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, we just watched the Gorn episode where they're on the frozen planet, and it starts with like two new characters that we've never seen before. It's like, yeah, they're dead.
Or like the one where there's the warring factions on the planet, and they have the Federation needs to be the liaison between the two of them, and they just start stabbing themselves on the Enterprise, trying to kill each other. You're like, yeah, they're all kind of expendable. It's okay.
I need to watch the actual Gorn episode with the kids so they can see the ridiculous guy in the rubber suit and Kirk like hitting him with his two-fisted punch thing. Original Star Trek is just so fun and campy and ridiculous. Shannon says, I love being drunk. And Strange New Worlds is the best Trek in decades. Yeah, absolutely. Strange New Worlds, I love it. Like, it feels like... I like Discovery. I like Picard. I like all the new Trek. It's been fantastic. But I don't like... This might tie into my my dislike of watching TV by myself. It's like I don't like the not serialized. Serialized is what Strange New Worlds is. Like when it's a storyline that, like a story arc that goes over the whole season, I don't like that. I like that Strange New Worlds has like individual episodes. You can just watch one episode and you know what's going on in that episode. If there's anything relevant that happened before, they do it in the last time on, and it's always extremely relevant to that exact episode. I love that. And they're doing it so well. And all the characters on Strange New Worlds are amazing. I love Pike. I love Hammer. I love Ortegas. Spock, the guy who plays Spock, is good. Uhura is great. They're all fantastic. I love them. They're great.
I'm on the opposite end. I love overarching storylines, but I think my favorite compromise on that is when you've got A plot, B plot, C plot, and C plot is your overarching story that's going through the whole season, but every episode has a very definitive and B plot that are going on.
So like Strange New Worlds, how they have the plot with Dr. Mbenga's daughter sort of thing that shows up in like every third episode or so.
Recurs every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I while I like, and I think it's because I grew up with like Dragon Ball Z, so I really liked that everything organically flows together as opposed to being like chopped up thing. But I also know when I was watching Star Trek, not the original series, but Next Generation, like I also found that some of the overarching things, when they would like every now and again there'd be an episode going on about Q, or every now and then there'd be an episode going on about corruption in the Federation, like having that stuff going on in the background, so there was a narrative that you could follow and things weren't just sitcom-y, basically.
So Blade Runner is saying the guy who plays the Andorian engineer, that's Hammer, is actually legally blind. So like he is actually blind.
Huh.
That's amazing. I love that.
No, that's good.
Like, because a lot of the episodes he like comes across as being able to see perfectly fine, which a lot of people that are legally blind, they can't, like their vision is correctable. So like maybe he's got contacts that allows him to see perfectly fine, but like it's pretty great. I don't know. I kind of like I like to watch Next Generation with the kids occasionally. And it's like, it's nice that you can just drop in on pretty much any random episode. And yeah, they might refer back to stuff that happened earlier, but for the most part, it's self-contained. I really like that about most Star Trek. And so I've kind of missed that. Like that's kind of been the trend of TV shows. They go to these like overarching storylines, and I kind of
they go with the binge model.
Yeah, and I do kind of like that to a degree. Like for Stranger Things, really works. I love Stranger Things. It's a great show. For Star Trek, like yeah, it works for Discovery, but like I like that Strange New Worlds has gone back to you can just watch an episode and it's fine if you haven't seen the previous episodes for the most part.
Well, not to mention like the environment So like the environment of Stranger Things lends itself better to that to me,
Yeah.
better to the overarching, because there's a lot of shoot location on location, whereas in Star Trek there's a lot of we're on a different planet today, and it is way easier to conceptualize as a viewer that we have a reason for being on X planet when an episode can begin with, hey, higher ups just said we need to go here to solve X problem, or hey, we just got a distress message from this. It's
Or,
way easier to do that with
or,
self-contained stories.
or hey, here's two new characters that we've never met before. Clearly, they're the ones that are going to die.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, we just watched the Gorn episode where they're on the frozen planet, and it starts with like two new characters that we've never seen before. It's like, yeah, they're dead.
Or like the one where there's the warring factions on the planet, and they have the Federation needs to be the liaison between the two of them, and they just start stabbing themselves on the Enterprise, trying to kill each other. You're like, yeah, they're all kind of expendable. It's okay.
I need to watch the actual Gorn episode with the kids so they can see the ridiculous guy in the rubber suit and Kirk like hitting him with his two-fisted punch thing. Original Star Trek is just so fun and campy and ridiculous. So I actually popped into your Twitch stream earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, I should be a little bit self-promotional. I'd be like, Suris, what are you doing tonight? But you were like in the middle of an argument with someone about like the merits of RPG gaming and the story of RPG gaming versus the mechanics. And
Oh yeah, because we were having a disagreement about Pokemon,
yeah,
and my position is like most recent Pokemon games have failed miserably as RPGs. Like they're great battle simulators, but they're absolutely abysmal role playing games, and I hate that.
I don't care.
Well, I do, Vice. I do.
You know what? I like video games, but like the video game has to capture my attention, and there are very few video games that do. So like Hollow Knight, absolutely captured my attention. You got me. Final Fantasy VII, you got me. Any other Final Fantasy? Can't get into it because it's too much to learn. I don't know. There's a lot to learn in Final Fantasy VII too. Like I'm not saying that it's an easy game to figure out, but like I figured it out when I was a kid. I know it now, so I'm not going to learn a new one. It's number 7.
I mean, you could always play the 7 remake.
It's not good. I don't like it.
Really?
No, I played the first one. It's too linear. Like one of the things I liked about it was that like Final Fantasy VII, yeah, it's linear, but like when you open up the world map, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Whereas this one is like, yeah, like the first one is all in Midgar, and Midgar was pretty linear in the original game.
Yeah.
But like the fact that you made a whole game out of that, you seem to be going the way of like Crisis Core, and Crisis Core was very linear. Like you can't deviate from the path. I feel like the second part of the remake is going to be the same. So like, I don't know. I'm not like, I played through it. I did kind of enjoy it. I'm probably never going to play it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whereas the original Final Fantasy VII, I've played it through like 7 or 8 times.
That's a complete experience, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know what it is, but like, I don't know. Like, the video games that capture me completely, and I spend way too much time in them. Like, Hollow Knight, I probably have over 2,000 hours in it. I don't know. The Switch stops keeping track after a certain time, and Steam, I know I've got over 400 hours in Steam. And because like I started in Switch and then I transferred to Steam because like Steam you can modify it and stuff, like the mods like the randomizers are fun.
Oh, any Metroidvania with a randomizer is amazing.
Yeah. It's pretty great. But like Final Fantasy VII is like, yeah, the original game is great. The remake, I get it. Some of it, like it kind of hits some nostalgia points, but like like there's just too much of like, this is the path you're on and you can't deviate from that path.
I mean, that's like, personally, I think the second remake chapter is gonna allow you to open up, because
I hope so. I haven't actually played that, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy it.
So the reason, I mean, it's not out yet, I don't think.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. See, this is how close. This is how much it captured me, is that I don't even know if the second part's out yet.
So the reason that I think that they're going to allow that is because narratively, the 7 remake made such a big deal where it would literally have the ghosts come out of nowhere to reset you back on the path of the story, because it was literally a plot point. This is Cloud's destiny. Cloud will do his thing. You have to do what Cloud's story was. And then, spoilers for Final Fantasy VII for people who haven't, played it. By the end, that's not the case. By the end, I'm very certain we're going to get very different story beats for the rest of Final Fantasy VII, because they make a big deal out of two things. One, the ghosts changing your path and forcing you to be on Cloud's linear story. And two, the Sephiroth of that game is not the Sephiroth of that universe. You cannot convince me that Final Fantasy VII Remake Sephiroth is also the Sephiroth from that version of Midgard. I'm 100% certain that's the Sephiroth from original Final Fantasy's storyline.
Yeah, so I've got someone in my chat saying, I do think Final Fantasy VII Remake graphics are much better than FF7 original. Obviously, it was made like 30 years later, but also better world building, in my opinion. That's one thing. I think I really liked that they fleshed out Jesse's character.
Yes,
because in the original,
very thirsty.
In the original, not from a thirst perspective necessarily. I can see that, obviously.
No, she thirsts after Cloud a lot, is what I'm going for.
Yeah. But like the original game, there wasn't much of an emotional impact when the other members of Avalanche died. It wasn't really that great. So like the fact they actually fleshed out Jesse's character and gave her a family and had this whole side quest for her or whatever, I did really like that. So I'm not saying they did everything wrong. They didn't capture me like a video game captures me. I'm never going to replay the first part of the remake. I will probably buy the second part because I'm a Final Fantasy VII fanboy, but I don't know.
Actually, that begs a question. What about the Resident Evil series?
I've never played anything from Resident Evil.
Even like the old PlayStation ones now?
Never. I only just started playing Half-Life, the original Half-Life games, because I started playing Half-Life Alyx. I'm like, I have no fucking idea what's going on in the story here, so let's learn.
What even is a Black Mesa?
Yeah, like what the fuck? So I played through most of the first Half-Life, and then like eventually I just got bored of it, and I watched like a playthrough video instead of doing it myself. So I haven't completely finished it, but I know the story at least. So, but Half-Life Alyx I fucking love. It's amazing.
So I would suggest, if you ever do like have a want to get into the Resident Evil series, do not play the PlayStation original. I beg and plead if you don't.
Okay.
They made the remake of it on Steam it's a 1-to-1 remake with improvements.
Okay.
But
someone my Twidget seems to have frozen again. I don't know why Twitch is freezing tonight.
See, Webb in your chat said, Rhino, send me your Steam info. I will buy you the Resident Evil 2 remake.
That's what I was about to put up on Twidget. I think my Steam name is Vice Rhino or Vice.Rhino or something like that. I have like 2 people that have added me as friends, and I have not gotten around to like accepting their friend requests. And like at least one of them I know is like okay, and it's not that I am rejecting them, it's just I haven't accepted them. So I don't
distinction there.
I don't know, because I'm not really that much of a gamer. Like I play 2 or 3 games. I enjoy them. I heartily enjoy them. I get sucked into them, but like I don't play all the games. And so the idea of having friends is like, it feels like there'd be like an extra pressure of like, oh, well, this person's playing this game, so maybe I should join them. I don't know, whatever. Anyway.
I've never felt that pressure myself personally, but I also hate people, so.
Okay, that's fair.